Brandon, great to have a chance to meet you, man. And I gotta say straight off the bat, I swear you got the best hair I've seen in a long time, man. How do
Uh,
you do that little curl?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all just genetics. Who knows what it is?
Well, the genetics are working. Look, man, one of the things I'm really happy about to get a chance to speak with you that Fallsview is going to have a chance to have you and some other great performers performing there. It's a big show. It's about, back in the day, old school kind of the real old school kind of thing. And you're helping to celebrate the music of two of the greatest singers and songwriters of all time. What's the show called, man?
That's right. The show is the Simon and Garfunkel story, and yeah, it is truly some of the best music of all time. So I feel very honored to be able to perform and kind of portray these incredible people. So it's a great time.
Let me jump right in. What is this show about? How is this, portrayed? Because a lot of us, a lot of us old guys grew up on Simon Garfunkel. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it's going to be presented in this format and this time and just on this stage.
Yeah, I would say the best way to describe the show would be kind of like a concert style musical in the sense that we're telling their story from the beginning of when Simon and Garfunkel used to be Tom and Jerry when they were just in high school. They were just kids doing it. So we're going from kind of chronological order from then all the way to when they eventually break up after Bridge Over Troubled Water is released. And so it's kind of a chronological concert that goes through their story, and we talk about different situations that are happening during the time that these songs are being written and performed. So yeah, I would say it's a concert musical. That's how I describe it.
Who do you play?
So I play Art Garfunkel in the show, and like I said, a concert musical. So in the sense that I'm not um, saying, "Hi, I'm Art Garfunkel." The way we're doing it is that we're telling their story in third person in between the music. So when the music starts, that's when I portray Art Garfunkel. But in between that, I'm in third person. I'm me as Brendan speaking about Paul and Art and their kind of history and what happened.
So, what did you have to do to play Art Garfunkel? Because, if I understand, you're a big fan of their music, anyways. So, but it's one thing to be a fan; it's another thing to sing it in the shower or wherever. But it's another thing when you portray a certain character to hardcore fans. How do you become him?
That's a great question. Well, I do have the advantage of having listened to this music since I was very, very young. I mean, I grew up with it. And when I was about 13 years old, I met my good friend Jonah Bobo, who actually portrays Paul Simon in the show.
Huh.
Yeah, and so we've been singing this music since we were freshman year of high school. We bonded with this music. We used to kind of during our free periods, during our lunch periods, go into the stairwell of our high school and we'd sing the two-part harmonies of Simon and Garfunkel and Everly Brothers and stuff like that. So I have that kind of benefit of having grown up singing this music. But yes, portraying Art is it's particular because he's got such a specific vibe and voice and way of performing. So definitely it took a lot of just kind of studying interviews and clips and specifically his voice because his tone is so specific. But yeah, it's a blast to portray him because he's an incredible singer for true.
What was the hardest part portraying him? Do you think? Like, what did you have to get that right? What was the toughest part?
I think the most challenging thing for me is how I'm a very kind of I feel like I'm a very fast performer in the sense that I like to move around when I perform. I like to kind of dance around and use the microphone and really like dig in. And Art is a very still and calm performer. So it took kind of a lot of work just personally on not only my voice but physicality to kind of just calm down. You know, he has his hands in his pocket. He's just very still. So I think that was the most challenging thing for me.
You're not oblivious from being on stage. You've been also on another very big stage in the past too. Can you talk a little bit about your career? Because really, you're the perfect person to be portraying this.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing a variety of different things, but the main thing that people might know me from was I was on America's Got Talent with my group T3. We're a vocal trio of three tenors, and we do kind of music from Broadway and Disney and pop. We just released our debut EP with some original music and some covers. But yeah, so that's probably the main thing people would know. So I've been, touring with them and doing a variety of different gigs all the way, across. We're actually about to go tour in Spain and in London pretty soon, which will be cool. So yeah, that's the main thing that I've been doing besides this.
How do you balance the two, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love both things for different reasons. Like I like T3 because I get to be myself and I'm not portraying anybody. It's just kind of my own thing. But I love the music of Simon and Garfunkel. So they're both great. And the way I can balance it is that is just based on the love that I have for both styles of music.
Which song out of the songs that you're singing would you say is your favorite and why?
I feel like it changes every night. But I really love singing the song America. That one's really good. I think honestly though, this particular tour I've done the Simon and Garfunkel story now for 3 years. This is my third year doing it. And we got to do the show for Art Garfunkel last month. Yeah, and so I sang Bridge Over Troubled Water for him. So for me to have kind of sung that for him and to get his praise and to talk to him about that song, I think that has now become my favorite just in this particular time.
Let's get into that because did you know he was going to be there? And if so, were the butterflies kicking in? Because it's like, oh, geez, now I've got, the man here who's going to listen to me be him. I better get this thing right.
That's a great question. I'm so fortunate that I did not know he was there. Thankfully, because I would have been so nervous. I think I would have been a mess. But thankfully, nobody told me that he was there. And so when I finished the song Bridge Over Troubled Water, and I usually at that point, I look over to my left and I introduce Jonah, who plays Paul Simon, and I went on my left, and there was Art Garfunkel walking towards me. So yeah, so it was pretty overwhelming, but incredible. So very lucky.
What's been the reaction from the audience, from fans? I assume they probably hit you up on social media or maybe after the show.
Yeah, I mean, the reaction has definitely been a lot of the people who knew Jonah and I, because we've been performing this music for so long. They were all very overwhelmed and happy for us because that's kind of been our main goal is to do the music justice enough for that, if Art or if Paul Simon saw it, they would like what we were doing. And so the fact that we got the praise from him, I think for us and for our whole family and friends, it was pretty overwhelmingly awesome. Yeah.
Would you like to see this go to the big screen? Because they've done this with the Jersey Boys, and so many other shows that started on stage and ended up on the big screen. Would you like to see it there? And if so, you think you guys can take over for the main characters on that?
I think that there should be a movie about Simon and Garfunkel. I don't know if this concert style musical would be the right platform for it, but I do think that they should do some sort of movie about Simon and Garfunkel because the relationship is so complicated and there's a lot of good drama there. So I do feel like it'd be really cool at some point for that to happen. I don't know if it's this musical because this is more of a concert.
Yeah.
But I do think that, if there ever was a point that, I could play Art in some sort of movie or, if this ever came to Broadway, that would also be amazing. But yeah, that would be awesome. I would love that.
Let's cross fingers on that. Look, my friend, as we wrap this up, for fans who are either going to be coming down, because I know lots are going to be there at Fallsview for this, or the ones who are still going, should I, shouldn't I? I don't know. I don't know if these guys are going to get this right. What do you want to say to them?
Well, I will say that we've been singing this music for a very long time, and we really care about the authenticity of it. So if you are on the fence about coming to see oh, it's just another cover band, what I will say is that we definitely put our whole heart and soul into this music and into the show. And not only us, the incredible band, we have an incredible lighting team, an incredible audio team as well. So everybody kind of backstage and on stage are working really hard to make this as authentic as possible. So I would say if you're in any way a fan of Simon and Garfunkel, or if you just like the music of Paul Simon at all, it's worth seeing. It's a truly worth seeing show of all ages. You know, if you grew up with the music, or if you just kind of discover it, you know, just through popular culture or whatever, I think it's worth seeing. So come on down.
And who knows, maybe this time Paul Simon will show up at Fallsview and just walk on stage.
That would be incredible. I would be, yeah. We've been talking about what we would do if that happened. We'd probably freak out, but maybe, you never know.
Fingers are crossed. Magic always happens at Fallsview. So look, Brandon, thank you so much for this interview. Congratulations on this show. I know a lot of people are looking forward to this, and cross fingers that you come back again with the show at Fallsview, because we can never get enough of you guys. Thanks again for the interview. Have a great time at the show.
Thank you so much, Rudy. Have a good one.